Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Random Hour Podcast. As always, I'm your co-host, Devin Moore of More Sports, aka the Sports Barbarian, in this special little episode. And as always, I have the host of our show, the Anxiety Wizard, Kyle Crump. And today we have another special guest with us today, and I'm going to let him have the floor real fast before we get started.
It's my turn. I don't know what to do. Hi, guys. My name is Grimlock Stonehammer. I am the Elder Geek and pro-founder of the Geek Clan, and we like to do shenanigans and community work and stuff like that. And I like to do storytelling and just interact with different people. And it's an honor for me to be on here on you guys' podcast. Thank you for having me.
So my goal is to get Devin to play Dungeons and Dragons.
You've never played Dungeons and Dragons? But there are other role playing games out there besides Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Yeah, no, it's
Why,
just
why are you looking over your shoulder, Devin?
it's because Megan opened the door to let Jack in.
Well, okay, Devin. Since you are a sports barbarian, why don't you play the game called Blood Bowl?
Blood Bowl.
Kyle, do you
What's
know what
that?
that is?
It sounds familiar. If I'm not
So
mistaken.
basically, it's miniatures with races like orcs, goblins, elves, humans, dwarves, and they basically play football, but with gaming type things.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
remember this game.
So, if you like sports and fantasy, Blood Bowl is kind of a fun thing to try. I hate football, so I'm not a sports guy. So, but I'm just saying, try it.
Oh no.
okay, I will put that in my.
I
And
mean,
Jack's
Devin's
making
wife
noise.
has got into a D&D podcast, and she has called him at work and been like, Chuckles died. And he's like, what? Who died? And she's like, Chuckles, the clown, the one that you like. And he goes, you called me at work to interrupt my lesson over the clown dying in a fictional game? Yeah.
Did like I was in the middle of a lesson. She never calls me during the middle of a lesson. I'm like, "What's wrong?" She's like, "Chuckles died." I'm like, "Okay."
Well, that's because sometimes we just get emotionally connected to these characters. And when
Mm-hmm.
it happens, like a sudden thing, like when you were a child, like what was one of your like crying moments in a child movie? I'll tell you mine, um, because I'm probably older than you guys. So what was one of your like tear jerkers when you guys were kids to a fictional
All
character?
dogs go to heaven.
That one,
Old
that one's good. That one's yeah. Okay,
Old
you
Yeller.
go. Oh yeah, okay. Mine was the Transformer movie when Optimus goes
Ooh, when he
that like when
flatlines.
you see him just turn black and he just and you see and I'm like that was so profoundly like whatever, it just hits you like that because you actually see it happening. And that's why your wife called you because she was like connected to that character. You know what I'm saying? And that's just good
Mm-hmm.
storytelling and good character development when you feel emotional for a fictional character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Alrighty. Well, what got you into D&D?
I like mythology. I like
Mm-hmm.
mythology a lot. And basically, so in seventh grade, one of my friends who was a big jerk, because guys form friendships differently than females do sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Your
Mm-hmm.
biggest I'm not gonna swear. Your biggest donkey, if you get what I'm saying, usually becomes your best friend in the end. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was like I was always into like the Hobbit, like Frodo and the Nine Fingers and the Ring of Doom, or When There's a Whip, There's a Way. Always into Labyrinth, Dark Crystal, Crawl, Lady Hawk, not He-Man Masters of the Universe movie. We don't talk about that, but all those other fantasy
Oh, the
movies.
Dolph
And
Lundgren one.
shh, shut your mouth. It doesn't exist. If you talk to Grandpa Skeletor, he will deny it. But anyways, so that's what it is. And I like to, like, when I was a kid, I used to use imagination. Like we used to go out in elementary school and go out into the play yard and just use our imagination, pretend that we're somewhere different, right? So
Mhm.
then he's like, "Oh, you've ever played D&D?" I'm like, "No." So we started playing D&D. It was the wrong way. It wasn't really. It was very loose, and it when we started role playing. It is just two of us or three of us. It started to be like Dragon Ball Z kind of thing, like, oh, power up, and everything would get stronger and stronger. Very loosely D&D play, but that's what I liked. You know what I'm saying? And it got me to roll dice and use my imagination. And nothing is awesome than like using your imagination to make these characters. Like video games are fun, but it doesn't tell you like, oh, I do this. Oh, you can't take that back. You know what I'm saying? And then it just went down the whole rabbit hole of dressing up, going to LARPing, which is a totally different type of D&D, which you guys should try. It's fun, but make sure you find the right one. And other situations. And then, like, it was like the dark ages of geek stuff, and the younger generations don't understand that. You used to get picked on for playing D&D or Magic the Gathering or liking Star Wars, and now it's like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever, and that's why I think that some of the elder geeks like gatekeep sometimes because these newer generations never felt that pressure of you know looking the finding that community or being ostracized because you like certain things like that. And now since Stranger Things and these podcasts come from our generation or my generation coming out playing this D&D stuff, it's making it more popular. All right.
Uh, so our follow up question is: so here at the Random Hour, we are somewhat of a nerd and pop culture podcast. What are some of the things other than D&D do you nerd out about?
um, clan usually are like five different things that connect each other. So usually now most geeks are in a couple of subjects. I'm kind of like in all of them. So it'd be anime, fantasy, sci-fi, comics, and games are the five ones that connect. So I'm into all of those. But I'm not a video gamer. I'm more like a low tech gamer. I like to play like Unstable Unicorns, King of Tokyo, Betrayal of Haunted, Hound, Betrayal of House on Haunted Hill, Mansions of Madness, because it's a lot more fun when you're at a table playing a board game or a card game because you see the people like interaction with you than a video
Okay.
game. Love my anime. I love anime. It's just a
Oh
different
yeah,
type of storytelling.
favorite
Um,
one of all time.
don't have a favorite one, but currently I'm watching the new Bleach, and I'm very excited about that. And I just watched the new Gundam series on Netflix.
Oh, that's out
That is
already.
yes, and it is
Okay.
legit. It's like a different perspective because we always see from the Gundam side, right? This is
Yeah.
from the enemy side, and the animation is legit. But I also like, so I don't care if it's animated or not. If it's a good storytelling, it's a good storytelling. And a lot of people think that like American animation isn't that good. And I say, no, it's not because Netflix has some really good animation series that's not animated, Japanese anime, but still good. Like Mayan 3 is a good series to watch about Latino culture mixed with fantasy with the Mayans, the Aztecs, and forget what the other group was together to make this fantasy storytelling, and it was amazing. It was profound. It was really good, But a lot of people just skip all that other stuff, you know.
Okay.
Or Hilda. Hilda was another good one, and that was a girl who lived in the mountains, and there was a lot of folk tales into this like storytelling of the series, and it's lighthearted because sometimes you just don't need all that dark and evil crap all the time. Once in a while it's good, but you can't have it all the time. You need a nice balance of things.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
So my thing is, I'd rather it be animated than live action.
There's a lot you can do when it's animated that you can't do when it's live action.
Because have you seen the X-Men '97
Yes, it's
Hmm.
beautiful animation.
compared to the other this
The
stuff?
live action.
Yeah,
Is it
because
the is it because of the Death Note live action movie? It's okay.
which one are we talking about? The live action Japanese or the American version?
I was thinking the American version. I didn't know there was a Japanese version.
What
There
about
is the
the
Japanese
live
version.
action? There's a live action Bleach, if I remember correctly, Devin.
Yeah, we
Yes, and
watched
that was
that one.
good too, but it like rushed. It was just pushed everything into the same series. So
Yeah, it
like,
did.
so everybody's complaining about the Death Note, the American one, right? You have to understand that the Death Note landed in America, not Japan. Different cultures, so the storyline is going to be a little bit differently than the one in Japan. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of
Mm.
Hmm.
people don't realize that, and they don't think like that. William Defoe did an amazing job as Rube.
He did.
Amazing job, just fantastic. Could have they picked a lot like different actors for? Yeah, but it was kind of sped up because it was a whole thing just you know made into like a 2 hour movie. You know what I'm saying? So they sped
Hmm.
everything up. So it was still good. I still enjoyed it. Did I think it was the best thing ever? No. It could have been a lot better on some other thing.
I
What is the Geek Clan?
What is the Geek Clan? Okay. Wow, Kyle, you're just hitting the hard ones right now. So the Geek Clan was a vision of mine that we have a community of people, right? So Kyle, say if you come into my neck of the woods, right, and you want to find a really good comic or gaming store with a good community, and you don't know where it is, the Geek Clan will be like, "We can show you where to go."
Hmm.
Or if you want to work with cosplayers or stuff like that, we can show you where to go. If you just want to help the community with kind of like the 501st, but other types of stuff and build that community to make the better community with your geekness, that something is sharing small businesses like local comic book stores. My friend from Wicked Depictions, she does fantasy work. Let me show you a plug in. Like this is something I would support. I actually in my picture. Let me show you where you're gonna laugh at it. But it like this. See that? She did that. That's me. Sharing businesses like this that are unique. You know what I'm saying? That's what
Hmm.
we hear. Like sharing your podcast because you guys are passionate on what you do, sharing your stuff, sharing some people who's doing merch or whatever. Um, let's see, Gaming Night Apparel is one who did my shirts, supporting them. Anything like that to help the communities of small businesses get together and build something amazing. That's what the Geek Clan's about. That's what we're about. We're here to make telling stories, helping the world be a better place, and just building our fandoms. And yes, we might bust our beans on different fandoms. 'Cause that's what geeks do. We bust beans, okay? That's what we do. Um, but it's just to make a better world for everybody with our fandoms, because our fandoms don't have borders. Our fandoms don't have like diversity on what we look like or who we are or where we come from or backgrounds. You could be a rich, poor, whatever background you are. If you like the same thing, that brings the community together, and that's what it is. And that's what the Geek Line is about: is building community together. And anybody can join, and anybody can. Is if we have a website, it's called thegeekline.net. If you guys want to check that out. My friend Tiberius is a founder. He's the one who made the things. The what the hell is it called? The coat of arms and stuff like that. And we're
Hmm.
just here to share like small businesses and community and help support each other through our fandoms and storytelling. And that's what I'm here for. That's why when I find a really awesome storytelling creator on TikTok that works with me, we support them. You know what I'm saying? And we just make crazy
Mm-hmm.
storylines and just have fun with life. Life is too miserable right now. Why not just build community together of a bunch of people that look past every other BS in the world to build and have an amazing time with our imaginations and stuff and just have
Mm-hmm.
fun and build a better world through that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is. That's pretty much our ideal goal here on the show is to two idiots with a podcast to make your day.
Yeah, either
Uh,
you'll be entertained or you'll have fun.
you're not the only. No, I know some other two idiots with a podcast too. So you guys aren't the only one. Trust me.
That's our other podcast.
Yeah, that's our other
uh,
podcast.
no, it's not you. It's my buddy. So you were talking about they're called Pod or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
he's always trying to convince me that Masters of the Universe was one of the great movies. I'm like, no, it wasn't.
Right.
So I'm assuming you guys are in the South.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
How is the geek community down there? Certain areas in the country, it struggles hard being a geek.
I would say it's pretty good. I'm closer to Atlanta, and so there's a lot more comic book stores. When I was living like further out, um, more in like the country, uh, we had about one comic book shop, and it got shut down because not enough people were buying comic books. So I wasn't able to like regularly go as often because there wasn't a comic book shop. So I had to do either drive an hour plus or a couple towns over to go to a comic book shop. Devin, where you were at, I'm still new to the area where I'm at, so I haven't found anything yet. Um, Hannah's happy about that though.
Yeah, where I'm at, there's actually two comic book shops,
Mhm.
and both are big building into the community. It's funny. As we're recording this next weekend, the actress that played the Tiger Ranger in Wild Forest is going to be doing an appearance there at
Oh,
Great
what?
Ghost Comics.
Oh,
Go ahead.
you're talking about Power Rangers? What?
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Sorry,
have
World Cup
ADHD.
fan.
We'll start on one thing and then on another.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, and
No,
where
no,
I'm
no, no.
at,
I'm just busting your beans because I'm not a Power Ranger fan. I just think they
It's
just don't
okay.
want to be Voltron, but
I
that's
just
okay.
started getting into it, and I promptly got distracted by My Hero Academia, and I'm rewatching the series again.
I'm sorry, dude. You need to watch like really good anime, like Berserker,
he has the
Claymore,
books.
Psychopaths, Records of Lotus Wars. Why are you watching My Hero Academia? Next thing you're gonna be like, I like Attack on
It
Titan. Oh, oh,
um
oh,
Yeah, he does. He's
oh,
got the
oh,
shirt.
man, I feel
no,
sick.
I actually do have Berserk. My Hero Academia, I am rewatching. It is crap, right? I'm on like season 3, and I'm like, oh great, he's crying again, and I was like, I forgot how good this got because like towards the end, it gets pretty good, but I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh yeah, it took me a while to get into this.
All right, so
Mm.
another question for you guys. You guys go to conventions down where you guys are?
I've been to one. Devin, you go to more than me. I would like to go to more, although I keep getting chased by monks.
Yeah,
So Chase, so what's that about? Because you're a wizard. Did you throw
I
a
don't
fireball at
know.
him?
So
Did you throw a
tell him
like
story. Tell him the
I
story.
I cast fireball and the monk said it is Chelsea's day. Oh, is that what
no,
happened?
so we went
Nope.
to a convention and we were looking to network with people at this convention. It was Animazing Con in Savannah, and so we there was 3 of us. We all spread out with business cards and we're like, let's network. And I had food poisoning that morning, so I am feeling awful. I cannot keep anything down. I am pale. I'm wearing a Dragon Ball hoodie. And so some monks see that I'm wearing a Dragon Ball hoodie and they scream, Dragon Ball. And they start making a beeline towards me with books, like religious books. And I was like,
Wait, wait, wait,
I'm
wait, wait, wait,
not
wait.
interested.
Wait, wait, wait. They were
Hmm.
thumping you?
No, they had religious books and they were like trying
That's
to
what I
get me.
mean.
Yeah, they
They
were
were
trying to convert
thumping
me.
you.
They
Like,
wanted me to convert. And
thumping.
so
That's what thumping
yeah,
is. Yeah.
thumping has a different because for the South, thumping is when you have like a wart or something
Yeah,
and you
that's what I was like.
slam
Oh, okay.
the
No, no.
Bible.
So since I'm one of those Yankee guys, we call it Bible thumping because they
Hmm.
hit the thump on you. Because like when I go to Salem on Halloween, there's a lot of guys with megaphones with that
Yep.
going, whatever. Which I don't care what spirituality you are. If you are Christian, Buddhist, Jewish, Taoism, whatever, as long as you don't tell me I am wrong, that's fine
Hmm.
because you're right in your own spirituality and I'm right in my own spirituality. But when you tell me I'm going to hell or I'm going to pray for you because
Yeah.
you're not on the right path, then the gloves come off. Then I will
Yeah.
mess with you because you're being a jerk, and that's the thing, is like, whatever. So
Right. Transition to our next question. Since you are a paranormal hunter, do you have any paranormal stories you'd like to share?
I have a lot of them. Which one do you want? Do you want to hear the recent one?
Sure.
Sure.
Or do you want to hear some of the older ones?
Recent first.
We went to the thing called the Oddities, and it's a oddity curiosity and oddities. And me and my spiritual sister went with her boyfriend, and she's sensitive. She's sensitive, and I'm kind of sensitive too. We're all sensitive in different ways, but so we were walking, and we see this painting, and we're looking at it like, I'm like, that thing's haunted. That's definitely haunted. She looks at it like, yep, that's definitely haunted. He says, yep, that's definitely haunted. So what does the dumbass do? He buys it and becomes instantly obsessed with it.
Yep.
Where he's staring at it, looking like he's drunk, and it's talking. It doesn't let it be moved. It doesn't like it when you do that. She doesn't like that, and we had to get rid of it. And we eventually did, and it came back as a yoni thing, and it was like really nasty. And eventually we got rid of it. But from then on, I looked at my spiritual sister. I said, "We're not allowed to take him to any paranormal investigations ever. No, no," because I'm like, for 3 weeks she didn't sleep. She didn't. All this bad crap was happening. He was slamming his head on the wall. He got up and he was looking around. And she had to physically record all this stuff. Other things is I've heard we were investigating an old graveyard that's haunted.
Mhm.
So we went into the back and we heard church music coming through the spirit box in the middle of the woods. There were no churches there. I've also heard my name get called through it. I've also gotten pictures of like moon dogs in it,
Mhm.
goblins. I've gotten pictures of goblins looking at it. So I don't really get a lot of human ghosts. I get like the elementals and magical things coming towards me to bust my balls. One time we went into a woods and the temperature was like really hot. As soon as we crossed this threshold, it dropped like 20 degrees. And then I got tripped.
Mhm.
And my friend asked through the spirit box, "Oh, why did you trip my friend? Because it's funny." And they said, especially the fat one. Guess who the fat one was? Me. So yeah, we've gotten rocks thrown at it. My buddy's been scratched.
Mhm.
One of the situations is we went to so you know about the Conjuring, right? I
Yep.
lived there.
Mhm.
I lived in that area where that happened. So
Okay.
we investigated where the witch was in that cemetery, and we checked it out. And two of my friends both had a sensation of a little kid grabbing their hand and walking with them.
No way.
Yes, yes. And I've also saw like a golem looking creature. I was driving down the road and a golem looking creature just like hunched down, ran to my car, and all I heard was thud. And I stopped. I'm like, what the hell is that? I get out. I thought it was an animal or something. I get out. There's nothing there. But I saw this, and one of the other things is, so you know about the Warrens. Do you know about the Warrens?
I do not.
I do
No.
not.
Okay. Oh well, you don't know a lot of paranormal stuff, huh? Okay. The Warrens are the ones who done Anniverhara. They were the like lead investigators in the '70s and stuff like that. They did the Conjuring House
Oh,
and
it's
all those.
the couple based off the movies.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
and you should actually read the actual accounts because they are more
accurate.
interesting than the actual movies are. Because, like, honestly, would you let like the original Annabelle was an rag? Well, the Annabelle is a Raggedy Ann doll, not that ugly looking thing. Because I wouldn't let that thing in my house. Okay, so the twins are I know two demonologists who worked with the Warrens because they had an investigation over here. And we went to if you can look it up, it's called Nine Men's Misery or whatever, and it's a one of the oldest veteran thing in the country. It was before America was even America, and they say when you put your ear near it, you can hear the screams, right? So I was doing a video telling him that yeah, apparently the screams have gone away and they haven't had anything, and that. So when we were talking, we heard in the audio, ah, and we didn't hear it, but the audio picked it up, and I was like, "Whoa, that's cool." So, um, yeah, so yeah, there's a lot of like my old high school was haunted, was very active. Like we would have lights go off for no reason. We would have the curtains shut for no reason, and the people would be like this. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
everywhere. And you guys are in Georgia, right? So you guys
Hmm.
got a lot of
Do you want to
stuff.
start, Devin, or do you want me to?
You can go ahead.
So we used to work security at our college for a while to like help pay for schooling and stuff.
Yep.
Um, the school is very old. Some of the buildings are from the 1800s. So there's the White House. The lower part, not all of it's the original building from the time of the Civil War. Uh, there was a mansion at one point that held occupation by Union soldiers during the Civil War, and the bathrooms for the White Building at the off-campus part used to be slave quarters. Well, at night in this very old White House, you would see like doors slam, people walk around inside, and you're security, and you're like, I've got to go check that out. And so
Mm-hmm.
I've had to like walk through this area, and I'll go up the floors, and I'll see just the door close, and I'm like, okay. And then I've seen like chairs just scoot across halls, and I'm like, well, okay then. And there was one night I was working, and I, when we were staying in the dorms, me and one of my roommates got sleep paralysis, and we both, when we had it happen, we heard two guys and a girl talk, which is weird when you're on the top floor and it's right outside the window, but you're so high up that there's no way anybody can be talking outside that window. Um, so I'm sitting at the gatehouse and I'm watching a movie because it's like 3 o'clock at night. There's no one coming in or out. And so I'm keeping one eye on the window and one eye on the computer. And I'm just kind of using my peripheral. And I'm like, man, that coffee pot's really prominent in as a reflection. And I turn after a while. I'm like, I need to look at this coffee pot. I don't know why. And there's like this shadowy figure, like saucer white eyes, and I'm like, I jump up and it darts off, and I go around the gatehouse to check, and then I was like, I can't find it, and I was like, that's weird, and then so I just played it off. Somebody was playing a prank or messing with me. I'm new, so that's obviously what happened. So then the hill officer comes down and starts yelling at me, "Will you please stop playing with the radio?" And I'm like, "I haven't played with the radio. Are you the one that's been running around the gatehouse?" And he goes, and after a minute, we're both just sitting there staring at each other, and he's like, "You haven't touched the radio, have you?" And I was like, "No, you haven't been running around the gatehouse, have you?" And he goes, "No." And I'm like, "Okay, what are you hearing on the radio?" And he's like, "It's two guys and a girl talking, but it's really hard to make anything out." And I'm like, fascinating. And about that time, we hear this blood curdling scream come from the woods right next to us. And we're like, we've got to go check that out. So we have to go walk through the woods. The only thing we find is like a singular deer, which is a bit odd, especially for that time of year. But, and then, do you want me to tell him about Charlie or the woman in white?
I've seen the woman in white, but you can tell him about Charlie. Darn
Wait, I thought
Charlie.
you didn't see the woman in white. I know I
I
have.
I've seen her once, but I also second guessed myself. But you can tell him about Charlie
What?
So
Why would you second guess yourself?
because this was at 3 in the morning, and I
and
had
you're
been
like
constantly moving around.
exhausted after
Yeah, I
working
was
all day, and
exhausted.
then
But
yeah,
that's the witch's hour.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I just look
we
up. So in the same building, there were offices in the middle of campus. I needed to go lock that door up. It's 3 in the morning. Um, Everybody I know is in bed because I just got torn the campus. Like nobody's around, right? And I'm
this
about to
is
go.
the music building, which originally um, was like the main one of the main buildings for like offices and stuff, but now it's just converted to the music building. I feel like that's important.
Yeah. Oh, oh, the piano's playing, dude. That.
Yeah,
Oh, you open up a core memory.
and
Yes,
then
and the
the top floor had a chapel in it as well,
Oh
like a
god.
big chapel, which had an organ that would play by itself.
dude. Yes, we've heard the organ playing, dude. It is so creepy. Oh, dude. That's right. Because I wouldn't go near the chapel at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
Dude, I have a
I,
question, Devin. I probably should have asked you this like sooner. Anytime you went in the chapel and the lights were on, did they like flicker whenever you like entered, talked, or did anything in there?
Yeah, but I thought it was just piss poor electricity.
Yeah, me too.
no, that's probably the entities trying to get energy from the lights,
Okay,
trying to communicate
Oh,
with you to
but
get your attention.
Devin, tell Devin, tell your woman in white story, and then
oh
I'll tell
god.
my woman in white story, and then we can talk about Charlie.
Oh god, yeah, same building that Kyle said. It was like 3 in the morning. I was by myself. Nobody was around because I just got done patrolling the campus. And I was like, I'm gonna go check this door, and cut through to this building, lock this door back up, and cut through the cafeteria because during that time we had a bunch of kids bust the door down to get milk or whatever. College kids being college kids. I kid you not. On the top floor of the offices, I saw a lady in pure white, and I said, "Nope." And I got in the car and kept on driving.
Now,
But I second guessed myself because it was 3 o'clock in the morning. I was constantly moving around, and I was like, "I'm,"
No, you
because
saw
there's
it.
an urban, and the urban legend there. And Kyle, you might have to correct me if I'm not mistaken. The woman was the mistress to the founder of the university, if I'm not
yep.
mistaken.
So the when I saw it, so I was there's a big like ballroom court area, and it goes down the stairs by the chapel, and I was studying in the music building with some friends, and I was working for the basketball team at the time, so I was going to like finish the laundry, and I walked through, and I get about halfway, and I stop, and I'm like, I turn around, and there's like this wispy figure just standing in the corner, and I'm like, hi, and I just kept walking, and then every once in a while, I would like see it pop around the corner for a brief second, and then slip back, and I'm like, well, I'm not bothering it. It's not bothering me. So, Yeah.
So 99% of the time, it's not evil. It just wants
Yeah.
to communicate you or curious or just left alone. Honestly, I think the media has kind of like pumped it up that everything's evil, and it's really not. Not everything is out to get you. You know, it's just curious or just wants to talk or just left alone. Um,
Yeah.
One of the stories that happened was so I lived in a city where we used to have mills, like old mills and stuff like that. So they were taking it down and they were having these a lot of problems and stuff like that. So they talked to my friend Andrew Lake. He was a paranormal investigator. He's got some wild stories, and he said, "Well, you're gonna need some psychics or whatever." So what happened was one of the things of the building went through the crane, and the guy ducked. If he didn't
Mm-hmm.
duck, he would have been gone, right? So these two psychics or sensitives, I like to call them, said, did you see if they're not happy? They don't know what's going on. That so we're gonna they're very angry at you guys, and they said if they wanted you dead, you would have been dead. To the crane
Mm-hmm.
operator, they said, yeah, that's your brother saved your life basically, who passed, and told him to duck because you would have been dead. So well, what would you? What did you do? Well, we can rearrange them. I'm like, well, you can go to that mill over there. That's pretty haunted. If you want to go to another place, but they were actually having problems with it, and it was in the paper or whatever, and of these ghosts that did not want to leave.
Mm-hmm.
you know, so yeah, they can hurt you, but 99% of the time they're just moving around. Just human things or whatever.
Yeah, we had one of our dorms that we stayed in. We had whiteboards that I would stick on the wall, and I would do like equations on them. And we had a bowl that sat on the windowsill. It would like move from one side to the other, and on its own. And anytime we opened the window or messed with the bowl, stuff would start getting weird, and like cups would fly out of the shelves. The whiteboards would fly off the wall and hit us. And at first, we just thought it was the other person messing with each other. And so one day he comes in, he's standing about a foot from the door, and the whiteboard's on the door. It's got our grocery list on it. And so we're talking, and it flies and hits him in the back. And we're like, huh, that must have been poor uh, command strips. So we moved it, put it behind my bed or right above my bed. And we have two desks in the middle. A couple weeks go by, um, and we're both sitting at the desk for studying on our computers. And all of a sudden, the whiteboard flies off the wall, smacks me over the head, and it's about 3 feet from where I'm sitting. And we're looking at each other, and I'm like, "So the library?" And he's like, "Yes, the library is a good idea. Let's go to the library." And so we go there, and we give the whatever's going on in there. It's time to cool down. We didn't have any other issues the rest of the year. We just left the window alone.
Yeah, it was probably temperamental or whatever. But like I said, I've seen so much weird crap to not believe that things do exist beyond our reality that we actually know. So
Mm-hmm. Okay.
it's never a dull moment.
Okay. We may need to. All right. Our next question. What D&D class would you say you are in real life?
What D&D class am I? Really?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know? Cleric.
Okay. I felt like
Definitely
that was a good
cleric.
transition.
Definitely cleric because like I am actually a spiritual leader. I do tarot
Okay.
card readings, I do cleansings of houses. I'll help you with spiritual advice. I can help you with talking to the divine or your ancestors, whatever you need to do, or just normal spiritual wisdom of whatever to help you
Mm-hmm.
through your day. You know what I'm saying? So yes, cleric. Definitely a
Okay.
cleric. If you ask what race, dwarf. It's henceforth Stonehammer.
Uh,
Uh,
that's a good one.
what is a memorable moment from an old D&D campaign that still sticks with you?
Oh my god, that's a long. It's been a long time. All right, I'll tell you one on Earth Dawn. So that's a different type of role playing game, right? So I was playing this guy called Grant Stonefist. He's the dwarves of dwarves. He'll fight anything, right? So they're like, we need to make a potion, blah blah blah, to knock this guy out. And he's like, all right, I can do it, blah blah blah. His perception sucks. He never see. Well, first off, his perception sucks, right? So let me tell you the first story is so every time we look for something, he rolls a 4. So if the monster's like this close to him, he's like, I don't see nothing, right? Until we're underground, right? I roll like a natural stupid 20. I'm like, oh, you see this, this, and this. The party looks at me like, what the hell happened? How does that happen? I'm like, I don't know. We're underground. That's why. I'm a dwarf. I know things, right? So he's an alchemist, right? Well, he like there's herb now. So the game plan was to try to do this potion, right? And we'll give it to the people. Well, they're yelling at him, and they're like, "Well, how do we know it's not gonna work?" Blah blah blah. Well, my Grant Stonefist is the most stubbornest dwarf ever. He's like, "Yeah, I'll prove it to you." Goes like this, downs the whole thing, fails his check, is out for like 7 weeks. The party had to drag him out while he was sleeping, and he wakes up and like, "What happened?" They're like, "Oh well, you told us this." I'm like, "I told you it'd work." He didn't listen to me. That's one of my like famous role play. I have some LARPing stories too, because that was always fun.
Okay.
But yeah, that's one of my most memorable ones that have been recently. Because D&D is way too far back.
Okay.
So speaking of your Grimlock costume, what was the inspiration behind that?
The name or just the costume?
The costume.
Okay. Not really any inspiration. Just decided, hey, this looks cool. This looks cool. Like I got this helmet. We have a place called the LARP Box in Massachusetts, and you get cool stuff like this. I was like, I need a clerk helmet. This looks cool. Let's get this. My mother's a seamstress, so she kind of like sews different things together, and makes my costumes and stuff like that. So really, it's just looking for hammers and just unique things that is that character. And that's with all my different characters, like my Grim Reaper, Grant, Eli. I think you guys would like Eli. Eli's a good guy. He talks like you guys, down south. They think he's really stupid, but he's not, kind of guy. Yeah. Just different things. Like you'll find like different props everywhere. Like I found these gold coins at like Target. They were part of the sinking ship thing for pool toys. This is Wild Bills. If you ever go to a convention with Wild Bills, you buy this, and every time there's a Wild Bills at the convention, you pay $5 for all day refills. That goes.
Okay. We got one last question for you.
Sure.
Where can the people at home find you?
Why don't? No, they can't find me in my house. I don't want people coming in my house. Oh! What do they want me for? I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. If you want to see me occasionally, if you go to Twitch and you type in King Norcalius, do a bunch of characters on there. Just a plug in there for that. I'm like everywhere. I'm just like, but mostly on TikTok. I got a lot of followers on TikTok. If you want to communicate with me. Get to know me, start some storylines. That's awesome. If you guys want to continue working with me, keep contacting me. Maybe the Goblin's going to stitch one of your podcast things on TikTok. That might be fun.
Oh,
But yeah, Or you can go to www.geekclan.net. We do have a website there also. We have a Geek Clan thing for Instagram also and Facebook if you want to check us out there. Or
Okay.
you can check out my friend Tiberius Stark, which is another elder of the Geek Clan. And we're always looking for other people to join our clan to do certain things for the brand. So if you guys are interested in that, you're more than welcome to send me a post. And I assign people. Oh, and one more thing. We do have ambassadors in other countries. We have one in Romania. Her name is Evil
Nice.
Muffin, and I'm trying to get her geek culture better in Romania because it's not like in the States. And I have my friend Evan, who's in Canada, who's an ambassador also. So that's kind of cool. So we're growing.
Okay.
And one more question for you guys.
Yep.
So, if you could be any type of anime character, who would you be?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't want to say a basic one on top of my head. I don't want to say a basic answer.
You know you want to be Pikachu, don't lie.
He mains Pikachu.
Dang it,
That's
he
the
figured it
problem.
out.
No,
That's the
Kyle
problem. He
wants to be
mains Pikachu.
Hamtaro.
He wants to be Hantaro.
Um, I want to say a One Piece character because they don't really die unless the story calls for it.
Oh my god, really? They don't really
Yes.
die.
Yeah, but so I know it's safe, even though they've got some like wacky battles. But you run into the issue, you could have some like awful proportions.
God,
There's
I
You
there's
just
some
want to
short
honestly,
be
leg
you
people.
just want to be like Mr. Fantastic, so you can be stretchy everywhere,
That
like the
wouldn't be a bad devil
Mallrats.
fruit.
The Mallrats question. If you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking about, the Mallrats question to Stan Lee.
yeah.
You have
oh
no
man,
idea, do you? Not a Kevin
But
Smith
go
uh,
for
fan,
it.
huh?
I'm trying to think. I don't want. I don't know. I just finished Trigon, the '90s version. Uh, I like Stan Van Peen pretty well. I don't want to go with him, even though he's got a cool gun. God, I just finished Trigon. I'm not going. I'm such a big Dragon Ball fan. I always tell people Goku, but I don't want it. I don't want to do the basic answer. You know what? Just because I'm trying to finish Boruto, and he's my favorite master, Master Jiraiya.
Monster Drive.
Mhm.
I want to be Asa. I want to be the guy, because my magic is Black Clover. Yes! Why can't we
Oh
have
yeah,
a
that's
Black
recipe?
true.
Clover is amazing. I
Oh yeah,
finished it
glad.
We
recently.
actually have, we were having some voice actors for Rhode Island Comic Con coming up from them, and Ichigo Kurisaki's going to be there, who's
Okay.
also unfortunately one of the Red Rangers. Uh, so I want to get his picture with him. And one more other question: who was the most famous person you got a picture with, or who's the
Ooh.
most famous
That's a
person you would
complicated
join with?
question.
I'll tell you mine.
Um, I don't remember his name, but he was a politician in Georgia. In
A
he
I
wasn't a
politician.
gotta.
good person,
I
but
don't really
it
meet a lot of
was
celebrities because I'm so busy with work.
when was it? It was
This is how you meet celebrities.
well, he was like a really famous person, but not for good reasons. Like he was,
Oh, he was
I
the
was a
evil guy. It's like I shook Al Capone's hand. It was amazing.
no. He used to like terrorize black people with a baseball bat.
Oh, what an
Um,
asshole!
yeah, it was a different time in the '60s, but he held me
Yeah.
as a baby. um, because of family friends. So wild
So,
times.
all right. So I met Kevin Conroy twice.
Devin, I know your answer, but well,
Shook his
you didn't
hand.
have a picture with him, but you did bump
Shook his
into
hand.
Oh
somebody.
yeah, I did. You shook his hand,
Yeah, shook
Yeah.
his hand. He's like, I'm shaking Batman's hand.
dude.
And
R.I.P.
the one I fanboyed out was the voice actor of the original Grimlock. and fanboyed out on him. I'm like, me, Grimlock, tell me about punching rabbits. Me, King. And then we talked about how, like, Michael Bay's an idiot and how, like, the whole punching of Optimus Prime, like, putting Grimlock down never happened. And, you know, why would Grimlock let Optimus ride on him? It's bad enough wheelie ride on him. Like, yeah, we don't talk about that. But, yeah, those are some famous people. I've also met Oogie Boogie. Plus Oogie Boogie. So
I
yeah,
don't
I've
think I
met
really
some
have
really
any
cool
pictures
actors.
with anybody. We met Dante Basco though.
I
Yeah.
met guy from Fairy Tale. Well, I'm all fired up. Met him. Met have you guys watched? So I'm gonna give you a series to watch before we end this. So did you guys like Airbender?
Yes.
So have you seen Dragon Prince?
Dragon what?
Prince on Netflix.
Dragon Prince.
Yes. It's really good.
I
I
met
haven't.
the elf actor.
Okay.
And she was awesome. And nobody like paid attention. I'm like, you guys are awesome. And she's like, the new season's coming up in August. I'm like, yes! So
That's
good.
good. It was really good.
All right, guys, thank you for having me. It's such an honor. If you guys want to continue working with me,
hmm
um, email me or contact me. Or I don't know if you guys have a Discord or anything.
We do
Uh,
not.
you don't have a Discord? What's up with
No.
that? Everybody has a Discord.
Devin, do we have a Discord that I don't know about?
Our show doesn't have a Discord, but we have our personal ones.
Yeah.
Why doesn't your show have a Discord? How are you supposed to be networking, guys? Like,
Listen, he's
why?
the social one, so you need to talk to him. I'm
He's
just
a
the
so.
HR
Wait,
department.
wait. The jock is more so. Wait.
The
Why?
jock is the
He's a
social one.
barbarian. Oh wait, you're a wizard. You're like in your books in
Yeah.
the tower, right? Yeah.
hmm
Okay. Damn
I,
wizard.
I do the strings behind the scenes.
Yes, he
Yeah.
does, dude.
You're
Oh,
not
we
a
have a
bard.
funny story. Um, let me do the intro, and I'll tell you a funny story. We can tell you off screen here in a second. But as always, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed what you heard today. Check me out on my podcast, the More Sports Podcast, the sports podcast for everybody. And of course, we have our movie review podcast, Popcorn Bucket, which reviews a new movie every Sunday. And you can follow us on social media on YouTube at Random Incorporated, and on Twitter at Rando Corporate One, and on Instagram as Rando Boys. And of course, I do stream some myself. Just whatever I feel like streaming, just come back and chill with me at DEVIOM25. And hey, if you want to see me, I'm also hitting the road this year in comedy. Come check out my comedy stuff at Devin Moore Comedy on all social media.
Oh
Grimlock, you got
really?
any last words before Kyle ends it?
Oh, I'll wait till Kyle. Kyle, you got any words? Or are you just gonna be quiet?
I was gonna let you have the last say.
No, really? But I'm letting you have the one more word, and then I'll have the last say.
Okay, this is my words.
Damn wizards! I swear to God, you guys are just like, oh, I gotta cast magic missile, or Iron Wall, or Bands of Sorellin, or whatever. Anyways, thank you guys for having me, and hopefully I'll come back again if you guys would have me at another time and date. And to your followers, these guys are awesome. They have some good questions. Hopefully they can come. Maybe I'll do an interview with them one day. And just enjoy yourself, guys. And if you want to reach out to me, come out and talk. And if these guys want to hang out with me, you guys are more welcome to. And if I ever go down to Georgia, you better watch it because I'm going to find you.
Okay.
In the fun way.
All right.
So thank you guys
I
for
will be
having me.
sending you Davin's home address just for this
Oh,
reason.
really? Yeah, I'm going to be
Do
all
not.
dressed up.
No, hold up. You go.
I'm
My
going to be
pants are
dressed
going to be
up.
down.
I'm gonna dress up with the puppets. The goblin's gonna be looking through the window, and go, "Hey, where are you, Devin? I want to play."
The sad part is my wife's going to walk to the door first, and she's going to be like, oh, it's for you. What? Oh, it is for me.
And yeah, like if you guys need to talk anymore, that's fine. I'm very humbled and honored, and I'm very thankful for you guys for bringing me on here as a guest. That's very awesome. Thank you very much for that. So
Thank you for coming on.
check these guys out. You'll enjoy it.